Hello, this is Tiffany again, and I'm back to call out a pink elephant in the room. And I may or may not decide to actually publish this content. So if you're listening to this, consider yourself lucky. I've been sitting here trying to think about how to explain this in a way where I don't sound like I'm hating on certain people because I'm really not. I am not. But I'm seeing this thing happen out in the podcast world, especially with boss babes or other entrepreneurs, especially online entrepreneurs who've been very successful. And no shame in that game, by the way. I have no issues with anybody starting an online business, having a thriving online business, doing what they love to do, what comes naturally to them, and doing it in alignment with their values and doing it in a way that's ethical and all the things. Okay. So, like, there's no shame in that game at all. But what I'm noticing is because I have been building a business or businesses since about 2017. I think it might have been 2016, 2017. So first I had an eBay flipping business where I was flipping stuff on eBay and Etsy and Amazon. And then I shifted into more of the human design, astrology stuff starting in around the 2020 mark. I got really serious about it there. And because of that, I've now been listening and following different social influencers, boss babes, business people on social media. I've been following them for a really long time now. And here's something that I'm noticing, or that I have noticed, that kind of bothers me a little bit, that I don't think, I wonder whether they've noticed this. So back in 2017, I listened to a very specific podcast, and the content was mostly around boss babes building a business, hustling, how to have $100,000 launch, or how to have a $50,000 launch, or how to have a $70,000 launch of whatever product or thing it is that you were doing. And the message at that time was very much hustle, 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 hustle. And then what I have noticed recently within the last year, since like 2023, has been a shift with those same people. So their early content was hustle, hustle, hustle. Here's the exact formula for getting a $50,000 launch. But now that messaging has shifted quite a bit. And what I'm seeing is these same people are pulling back, and they are not that they're not still making the money or having really big launches, but now part of the messaging is, oh, I've had a kid, I've had a child, and now I need to take more off my plate and I need to get back to a work-life balance. I'm also hearing when you have a launch, you should remove yourself from the outcome, especially the manifestation people. You should remove yourself from the outcome as much as you can, not paying attention to the numbers, and launch the thing and then go have a spa day and come back, and you're going to just trust that the thing did well. And overall, I'm just noticing this big push and this conversation around following your desire, following what lights you up, building a business from a place of loving what you're doing and focusing on the tasks that you love to do versus these formulas of how to do this launch in a very specific way that is tried and true. And here's the thing that makes me crazy about that, okay? This is the thing that makes me crazy. In psychology, you've probably heard this, and maybe it's in sociology. I forget, sociology or psychology, but basically there's Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And the bottom two rows of Maslow's hierarchy of needs are psychological safety, and then I believe it's physical safety. Like, so psychological safety is we feel safe, secure, we have a place to live. Physical safety is we have shelter, food, water, all of that stuff. And what cracks me up about this is that I've watched these boss babes and these people go from a place of hustling because they did not have those bottom two foundational pieces of Maslow's hierarchy of needs buttoned up yet because they needed to make the money. And now that they're making millions of dollars, and those bottom two foundational aspects of physical safety and psychological safety are met, those needs are met, they can now start, they're going up the rung in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and now they're able to start talking about getting work-life balance, focusing on the things that I love to do, not stressing about the outcome of a launch. Because for these people now, their businesses have been built to a point where if they launch something, go to have a spa day, come back and maybe didn't have a sales, and maybe they didn't make as much money as they wanted to make, their needs are still met. Their bills are still paid because at this point, they also now have invested in other companies, or they own rental properties that are giving them multiple revenue streams. So they can let go of the launch of something and just relax a little bit. They can pull back and hire more people to take things off their plate so that they get work-life balance and can have the baby and have the kid and spend time with the kid. And that's the thing that frustrates me that people are not talking about when we're watching these very successful people actually get some success. And the messaging, if you think about it over a course of time, starts from basic needs. I just need to make money, and here's how you make the money. And to now we're talking about these things that are higher up on the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, of like doing what we love and all of that. So I just want to put that out there for people, because if you are someone, especially if you're a spiritual entrepreneur and you're trying to build a business, when you're listening to content, when you're listening to podcasts or you're watching YouTube videos from these different people that have proven they are successful, also keep in mind and pay attention to when they say something like, oh, yeah, well, the way I get efficiency in my life so that I can focus on my business is I have everything automatically ordered on Amazon, and Amazon just delivers my monthly thing of XYZ. I mean, who can afford that when they're just starting out? Not many people. The reason that they're saying some of the things they're saying, it's because they are coming from a place where if their launch is not successful, they're probably fine. They've already invested in multiple businesses. They have a solid foundation of psychological needs are met, physical needs are met. They have that foundation. They can now free themselves up to let go of the outcome. So the point is, just don't beat yourself up if you are finding that you have to hustle. I do believe, with my human design background, that even if you're starting new and you don't have all the money coming in for a business, I do believe you can build a business based on following your desire, based on listening to your intuition. I think it's harder. I think it requires a bit of trust that the aligned action that you take, the inspired action you take, is going to culminate into something that's going to get you where you want to be. I do believe that we have to make a choice and decide that we're not going to listen to the external voices that are telling us how to do something. And we need to just decide that the way and the how that we are designed to do something will be successful. We have to believe in ourselves. And I'm saying that because there is one entrepreneur who I have watched that do that from the beginning. And her name is Michelle Rohr. And her website is Secret Owl Society .org, and she has built her business from a place of literally following her desire. There's actually a YouTube video where she talks about it. I will link that below in the notes so that you can check that out, but it's very inspiring. So I believe we can do it. I hope what I'm saying makes sense. I think it's important that we are really clear when we're listening and we're taking in content from all these other people who've been really successful and had really successful online businesses, that we're understanding where their messaging is coming from. We understand their journey, that that's where they are now, even if maybe we're not there. We need to understand what's informing their perspective. We have choices here about the external voices that we're letting in. And we have choices about how we let that affect us or what we make that mean about us and what we're doing as well. So I think that's all I have to say there. Take care and have a great rest of your week.